Yo, we're doing it again. Right? This is episode, I don't know, it's like episode 18 for the year, I think. 20? Who the fuck knows? Anyway, we got a lot of shit going on this week. We're actually going over to Camp Freedom and we're going to drop off the big juicy check. So we're going to be doing a lot of filming, a lot of live stuff from Camp Freedom. So I hope everybody tunes into the channel for that and at least watches. We're going to do like a 10 or 15-minute video about Camp Freedom and everything that they do. So again, everybody that bought a shirt and contributed to that whole campaign, seriously, like, thank you so much, because it really it means a lot to me. And we hit our initial goal. We had a stretch goal for double of that, and we didn't hit that, but we hit $7,200. So we'll be giving Camp Freedom all of it. So they're just going to take the $7,200. They're going to do whatever they do with it. They take disabled vets hunting, hiking, fishing, biking. They just do a bunch of shit that makes them feel like they used to feel prior to their disability, all right, that they got fighting for our freedom. That's all I'm saying, all right? Everybody who donated, a lot of them are veterans also. So we appreciate every dime that we got from this. And we'll be doing it again next year, starting in February. So we're going to run it February to July every year. I believe it's going to go to Camp Freedom again next year, but we're already fleshing out the themes and the team for next year. We're growing the team we're almost doubling the team. We're going to be doing it in multi-states now, and we're going to be doing it constantly. So if I have my wish, you won't be able to go to a show without seeing a Deeds Not Words campaign by some table at that show. Anyway, listen, want backstage stuff? If you want exclusive stuff, join the Patreon at the Fatman Nation, or patreon.com/the Fatman Nation. We're putting out some funny stuff on there. I got a new episode of Shitting On that I'm working on this week. We got some other things, new series of Storytellers, season 3, where I'm going to have Ron St. Pierre, Kevin McCurley's finally going to come on. We're going to get some of these old school guys to let you guys know how it was done. Regardless, this episode is sponsored by Bode Reptiles. If you want a quality ball python and you're anywhere near Las Vegas, you want to see Bode Reptiles. He actually just did Schaumburg last weekend or the weekend before. I hear he did very well there. My boy Conduit Constrictors, Steve Conduit. He's always fun. He's always just a cool guy to talk to. He has high-end investment stuff. If you want a quality high-end investment ball python, go to Steve Conduit at Conduit Constrictors on the old gram. This is my ride or die, small town exotics. You know him, all right? King snakes, leopard geckos, hognose, ball pythons. He does it all. You're going to buy quality if you buy from Small Town Exotics. Go check him out. Great Family Snakes. I believe they're offering a free shed test with every snake that they sell now into Axanthic Desert Ghost, Axanthic Pieds, a bunch of stuff on Morph Market. They update it every week. Listen, if you want a quality ball python, head on over to Great Family Snakes. Large Marge Morphs. Fucking winner. Sweeper of the 15 Minutes of Lane contest 2023. All right, he just killed it. He's working a lot with the Bang Project. Stupid name, cool snake. If you want a quality ball python, you head on over to Large Marge Morphs. That's all I'm saying. Everybody knows this guy, Sammy the Bull, the Pink Dog, coming with us up to Canada. He's coming with us Saturday to Camp Freedom. He's done so much for the Deeds Not Words campaign that everybody, and Sammy got some straight up great babies this year. I mean, I was just looking at him like, what? I didn't even know you were working with these. Sammy's putting out killer shit. Go check out Bull Pythons 44, the old Instagram. My partner in crime for the Deeds Not Words campaign, Jay from Green Line Morphs, always kills it. Always a great guy. Um, Listen, we wouldn't have did half of what we did without Jay helping me run things behind the wheel. So I appreciate Jay. Go check him out, Green Line Morphs on the old. All right, so one more thing. We'll be going up to Canada September 13th and 14th. If you're anywhere in the neighboring states and you're within a 4 or 5 hour drive, it is worth the drive. Biggest show in Canada. We'll be going live all weekend with Proper Royals, Fear the Fascination. We're also going to have Large Marge with us and Sugar Skull, and Sammy's going to be up there with us too. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun time. All the Canadians are cool people. I don't want to say all of them. There got to be a couple of dickheads in there, but most of them are fairly cool. All right, let's validate your asses. We know that that's the only reason you're in here. Oh, and to see the hot fucking Egyptian girl. So, listen, I know why you're here. All right, I know why you're here. Like, I'm not. Don't bullshit me. Nobody in this fucking chat right now wants to learn about tarantulas. All right, you came because there's a hot Egyptian girl here. Anyway, Dickie Foster, best name in the hobby. What's up, Dickie Foster? Thank you for coming. Big Homies Breakdown. You guys did good the other night. That's Sean. Thank you for popping by. Blind Mike. Man, I always feel bad when I see Blind Mike type in a long message because I'm like, he had to start that shit on Saturday. But what's up, Blind Mike? Thank you for stopping by. Blue Zombie. Fucking one of the guys in RWO that I really have tremendous amounts of respect for. Definitely thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you coming in. Jamie, Rising Phoenix. I haven't seen you forever, Jamie. Thanks for coming by every podcast and showing that support. But thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it. Heathen Hatchery. Brian, what's up, brother? I'm hoping to get down. Speaking of Florida, Brian, did you go to Daytona this year? Let me know if you did. I'm curious as to how the sales went for people. Do we got anybody else? Python Prince, fucking Blake, right up here in Albany, killing it. Brought his snakes to fucking McDonald's for some reason this weekend. Look, dude, I wouldn't bring my snakes to McDonald's, right? You know how those black guys feel about snakes, and you run the chance of being shot in McDonald's just for bringing in a fucking ball python. Green Line Morphs. Jay, thank you for coming by, man. I'm gonna be with Jay this weekend. We're gonna be hanging out at Camp Freedom. HJS is also gonna be with us at Camp Freedom. They've done a hell of a job. They came to every show except for one during the whole campaign, and they've driven hours and hours to get to basically get work done for the vets for nothing. All right. Large Marge, welcome back from Iceland, my friend. I didn't ask you today, but listen, it better be you better have a partner, all right? That's all I'm saying. Better have a partner. Anyway, we're not. Sugar Skull. Sugar Skull is also Large Marge and Sugar Skull coming to Canada with us. We're leaving on Friday, I believe. We're going to come back Monday. I just went over some logistics with Paul today. Sammy, what's up, man? Ready to rock and roll, all right? Josh Bradsher, thank you for coming, Josh. I appreciate you. Sammy, by the way, too, killer job with the Deeds Not Words campaign. Exotic A1 Pets, I know they're here for Kat. They can't be here for me. They're saying blessings, Chris. Yeah, they're definitely not here for me. They know that it's beyond reproach. Are we done yet? No, Pressure Pythons. Look, fucking Justin. Justin is going to be on 15 Minutes of Lane next month, I believe. So everybody give Justin what's up and a heads up for being on the most popular competition in the reptile hobby. That's all I'm saying. Adrian Maravella, thank you for coming. I hope I said that right. Fucking Brian Bode. He's in Memphis next week. How far is Camp Freedom from Memphis? It's about 16 hours, right? So I'd love you. And I like that you spelled Memphis with the less popular U version in Memphis. But okay, Ozark Mountain Morphs. Justin, what's up? Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. And who else? Are we done? Yeah, okay, we're done. All right, I want to bring on a reason you're here. I know you're not here to look at my fat, ugly ass. You're here to look at this girl, okay? Get it out, okay?
Marhaban, كيف حالك?
It is Arachnid Kat. Catherine Lee. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Hello, my love. How are you? Thanks for having.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. We're killing it tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting a hot girl on the Hot Girl Show. We're very happy with ourselves. You're going to teach people stuff regardless tonight. Okay. So just give me the 5-minute or the 35-second elevator pitch on Arachnid Kat.
Absolutely. So, I specialize in tarantulas, mostly all types of arachnids, and my specialty is healing arachnophobia, which I have 9 patients so far that I've helped recover from that. And I also
Whoa. Wait a minute. What did you think? You were just going to get away with that and we're going to brush over? You have 9 patients that.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's a fear of spiders.
Yes.
You're getting them over the fear of spiders.
Yes. I've actually had 2 people today that I've helped recover.
Oh, well, when you say recover, okay, what are they like? Oh, I could be around one now, or they're like, oh, I want one now.
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So
All right. You may continue. Well, we'll get back into this. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I breed and I keep them, and I advocate for these tarantulas because who are they to speak to for them to say, oh, don't squish me, oh, I'm not scary. They need a voice, so I am their voice, and hopefully, this hobby can just not just be a hobby, but for everyone to see that these are not monsters.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I didn't know how big the recovered cocaine is better than tarantulas. No, cocaine is way better, Mike. I could guarantee that. It's also way better than ball pythons. I didn't know how big the tarantula community was until I started talking to Robin from Redline.
Yes.
And he's like, 70% of our shipping is tarantulas.
Yes.
So you're from Queens. What made a Queens girl decide to do this?
I always tell the story that when I was 5 years old, I saw the movie Aliens, 1979, Ridley Scott's Aliens with the face hugger. As a child, I thought it was a real spider. So I went out looking for this face hugger. I never found it. All I found was spiders, and I even fell in love with it even more. And as a devious child, I would always torture my siblings into, the spiders and everything. And I was just the black sheep of the family, and I loved the creepy crawlies, and that just became my entire personality.
The face huggers from Aliens?
Yes.
What was your initial? Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's cool. That's okay. That's better than I grew up watching Steve Irwin, and I wanted to be like the next Steve Irwin. And aren't you just like shut the fuck up to those people? Like really, like I'm. And I promised Kat that I wouldn't say the F word, but that one just came out tonight.
No,
I didn't mean it to. Okay. So now, is there money in tarantulas? Like I don't even know.
So it's like any kind of export import business type deal where you breed them, you sell them, you get some, you lose and win some. It's basically your basic transfer type deal. But I'm more into like the welfare and the well-being of these animals.
Right, but as far as breeding them goes, what would be like the most expensive tarantula that you could breed? And are old world more expensive than new world? Like you got to understand, you're coming from a guy that knows nothing about this at all.
Okay, of course. So tarantulas are separated by two categories, specifically called New World and Old World. And what that means is New World tarantulas are all tarantulas that are in America and South America, and those are the less venomous. And then you have Old World, where all those tarantulas are from Africa, Europe, Australia, and the Asian islands. And those tarantulas are more venomous, but all tarantulas cannot kill you, and so the most expensive tarantula in the world are Poecilotheria genus, where there are more, the Indian ornamental tarantula, where they're so beautiful. And then in the New World, we have a tarantula that's very expensive, almost $5,000 for this tiny little thing that's called a T. Celadonia, and a lot of people sought after it because it's so beautiful. It's called the Brazilian jewel. So that's the most expensive tarantula.
Okay, so $5,000, right? What's up, Jen?
Almost.
Uh, and tarantulas don't just have 3 or 4 babies. They
No.
have 1,000 babies, right?
So it
But
depends on the species. Yes, you can have one from 20 to 50 to 100 and 1,000.
obviously, the ones that do 1,000 less expensive, right?
Yes, right, correct.
And what's a typical survival rate on what? Let's say you're working with 20. You get 20 baby tarantulas. What's the
Mhm.
survival rate on those 20?
So with each egg sac, you're always going to have a deformity, depending on how the mother raises the egg sac, or if you're going to incubate them. There's always going to be fatalities. So you would never get the exact amount of babies that they lay.
Right.
So you can have, okay, for example, if a Lasiodora genus, Lasiodora parabana, they have over 1,000 babies. Say you got an exact amount of 1,000 babies slings, you would never get that 1,000 out of the exact. You always get about 950 or so. And it's always depends on whether there's trampling over the eggs, over the the little spiderlings, or the mother will eat the egg sac, or just environmental deformities.
Okay.
Hmm.
So the question obviously is the guy with the $5,000 spider.
Hmm.
What's he going to get as an egg yield for that $5,000 spider? Is it 100? Is it 50?
You could get between 50 to 100. Yes.
Oh, okay. So he could make 40 tarantulas and get $5,000 a piece for them.
Just about. Yes. So they only get very expensive as adults. As
Right.
slings,
I was going to say that. Okay.
yeah.
All
So
right.
slings are babies, and they go for about like $90 to $100 because this species is so rare, and we're trying to bring that species back into the community. So the way that they breed is very difficult. So we it's a very difficult species to breed.
Is it the male basically tearing apart the female every time, and then you got to separate them?
No, that one the females do all female tarantulas do have the potential to eat the male. Of course, it's natural, it's instinct. But however, that species doesn't really rarely eat the male. It's just the environment that they live in is very hard to implicate. So the chance of raising those babies to full adult is very difficult. But there are a lot of people in the industry that have been successful, like Aram from Urban Tarantulas. He's done fantastic work with them.
Okay. So there are guys out there making 50, 100 grand a year on
Yeah.
tarantulas only, right?
Yes.
Okay. So really, the only thing I have to compare it to is the reptile keeping, and the reptile keeping, as you know, from getting into the to this side of the hobby. I mean, it's definitely full of people not making 50 to 100 grand a year on their hobby, right?
Mhm.
So so would you say that the spider thing is almost a little bit more? Would you say it's easier than the reptiles? Like you went to Sammy's house, right? So
Yeah.
you know how they're kept and they're bred and all that with the ball
Yeah.
pythons, right?
Mhm.
Would you say it's easier to keep a bunch of spiders and have them,
Yeah. Actually, I personally would say yes, but a in between level of yes and no, because it all depends on the season of the tarantula that's going to lay the egg sac, and then you have the potential if she's going to eat the egg sac, and then you have to wait until the babies hatch, and if they hatch and if they're viable. So it's a 50-50. It's a gamble, really. It's a real
how,
gamble.
how are you separating them when they hatch?
So some species you can leave the egg sac with the mother, and they make great mothers and they take care of them. But some species you want to take away the egg sac because they would not take care of it. So
Hmm.
it's very more important and more viable if you do take away the egg sac and you incubate them and then you do that process.
Right, but when you have to get each one out of like 100,
Hmm.
like what's the method for separating them and putting them in their
Oh,
own enclosure?
yeah. So once you get the egg sac, you want to do a two-step method where you take a big deli cup, you fill the bottom with half with water. You take a secondary deli cup, you put it on top. You put the a coffee maker, the filter. You
Yeah,
lay it on that top lid, and then you put the egg sac on top, and then you just let it be. You cut it open when it's ready after 25 days, and then you can start to see if they're viable. They become eggs with legs. You pour out the egg sac, and then if you see eggs with legs, they're viable. And the ones that you don't see with eggs with legs, you take them out because they can damage the rest, or they can, yeah. So you take that out, and then you basically let them do their thing because you don't really want to mess with them too much. You do want to keep them high up, on a level because, humidity rises.
right.
So you just let them do their thing, and you just keep watch on them.
But still, I don't think I'm being clear here. Separating 100, like what do you put them in? What do you
Oh,
like? How do you separate them? Like what kind of, do you put them in a little cup, or do you put them in a 6-inch cage each one, or like that just
yeah,
seems like a lot of work to do. Like that part is the part that like I could do what you told me already.
yeah.
What I'm worried
So
about is like separating them out when they're babies and not killing them.
no, yeah, of course. So after they're done between, they go through a process called molting, and they go through three stages of molting. So after those three stages, they're called first and second instar. So once they're done, and they get about like a one eighth of an inch, then you can start separating them into separate deli cups. There's a certain species called M. balfouri, the Monophotrophis balfouri, where they can be communal, and you could keep them all together and they can thrive, and you don't really have to separate them. But if you are a breeder and you want to separate them, you put them in separate deli cups because they will kind of cannibalize. How you say that? Cannibalize each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but the deli cups that you're putting them in, are they regular 20 ounce or are they the smaller?
Yep. The small where you put ketchup in it.
Right,
That,
right. Okay, all right.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you're so Queens. All right, the cup that you put ketchup in, Chris. Yeah, no, I get it. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so now are you making a living at this now?
Yeah, so I did a breeding deal with someone from California. I sent over my male to him, and with that, he had three females of the male that I had, and
Hmm.
so two of the females, one of them didn't make an egg sac; she molted. The second female ate the egg sac, and then the third female laid a sac. So now we're just waiting and depending on her to wait if she lays. And if she lays, then half of those babies will go to me, and then half the profit will go to me, and so on and so forth.
Okay, all
Mhm.
right, and then um, do you have a day gig right now, or do you just do this full time?
I am leaning towards this full time. Um,
Mhm.
this is more. more of a hobby. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
Actually, my therapy. So yeah.
So you're young, right? I mean, you look like you're 20, right? How old are you?
I cannot.
I think that you're young enough to ask that. That's why it wouldn't be an insulting question. Like, so
Do I have to say it, Chris?
are you? All right. Are you 30? Higher than 30? No shit. Okay. Damn. So it gotta be hard to meet a dude, right? Doing this, unless it's some reptile show loser, right? That's vending at a reptile show. Your average guy that's working at a bank is gonna come to your house and be like, what's going on here, right? Like, how do you get past that? Or do you not just look at those guys and you're just like, those guys are off limits?
Um, to be honest, Chris, I don't get asked out. I don't. Whenever someone does come up to me and approach me and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" or blah blah blah, I tell them what I work with, and they're like, "Okay, peace out, bye."
I'll talk to you later,
So
right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
yeah.
No, I get that. No, normal people don't like what we like, you know. So I totally get that. And then, what do you do? Like, you're in Massachusetts somewhere, right?
Yes.
Now,
Correct.
and you moved from New York to Massachusetts, right?
I
What,
I grew up in both places at the same time. It's kind of difficult, my backstory, but I'm from Queens. I'm from Massachusetts as well, so I'm from both
oh,
places.
okay. Okay. But currently you're residing in Massachusetts, or
Yeah.
are you living in both places? Or do you not want me to do? Do you not want to talk about that? We can not talk about it. That's fine too. Although I did ask you before the show, is there anything you don't want to talk about? And you were like, no, do it. All right. So,
It's all good.
okay. So she doesn't live in Massachusetts. She lives in Vermont. All right. Um, what, what, um, what kind of like brought you to this point where you're like, hey, I could make a living doing this? Like who did you see in the real world making a living doing just this, where you were like, hey, I could probably do that too?
So in the hobby, we like to call this certain person our president in the whole tarantula society, and he's been one of my kind of mentor, but someone who I really look up to, and that's Tom Patterson, and also Tom Moran. So they've been very welcoming, and they've been so inviting and with their knowledge. So, and also another person who lives really close to me, his name is Dritz Duodin. So we've been cross examining our tarantulas, and he's been helping me. And what they do is something so beyond incredible that I just want to mimic what they do and help, these tarantulas become more than just a living. So that's what I want to do.
Hmm. Do you think, and this is a general question, so do you think they make good pets?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, do you? I mean, but you can't handle all of them, right?
No,
I hear about these irradiating hairs and all this other stuff that you can't even handle. You know, so why do they make a good pet?
so there are some species that they make great pets because they are tolerant to handling. Now, not all tarantulas, they don't like the feel of human skin, but they can tolerate them. And some, yes, are docile, but we don't like to use the word docile because yes, they have that temperament of being docile, but we like to use the word tolerant. So they can tolerate handling, but that's something that you don't always want to do because they don't like that. It puts too much stress on them. So they're more like of a fish tank type of pet.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Well,
Hmm.
that's really what the snakes are. I mean, the snakes just tolerate being handled.
Hmm.
Uh, there isn't a snake on this planet that looks at its owner and is like, "Hey, can you please pick me up and hold me?" You know. But what's up, Chris? Yeah. So I like the fact that you use the word tolerant instead of they enjoy being handled,
Right.
because obviously they don't, right? Um,
Exactly.
and what full grown bird-eating tarantula. How big of an enclosure do I need for that?
So tarantulas, you can obviously you want to accommodate their surroundings, their natural environment. So you want a big. You don't need something lavish, but you do want something that's as big as them, as big as whatever size they are. So a Theraphosa sturmi, the Goliath bird eater, that species can grow up to 10 to 12 inches leg span, and their body is very heavy. So you want to accommodate that like in a, a Tupperware, big Tupperware, and you'll be fine. With each growing stage of the tarantula, you want to accommodate their size. So, for example, if you have a little sling, you want to accommodate that in like a vial or a deli cup, or it's just a small Tupperware. You don't need a big lavish thing. They'll be
Right.
fine whatever you put them in, as
So,
long
so
as
you
you give
don't
them.
need. So you don't need 3-foot cages for a tarantula.
No,
Okay. All
no.
right. And would the 3-foot cage actually be worse for them because it's so big that they won't feel safe in it?
No. So tarantulas, they do wander at night, so they are nocturnal. They do during the day they do go out, whatever. But they like to stay in their burrows. So whenever a prey item comes by, they will never go hunting for it. They would just wait, snatch it up, and call it a day.
Right.
So if you do give them a big lavish enclosure, they will wander, but you will always see them in one spot. That's why they call them the pet rock.
Okay. Well, they call ball pythons the pet rock too. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they do because it just they never. It's not an interesting animal at all. All right. So, um, um, and what made you? Because full disclosure, you were going to be on last month on the
Mhm.
show,
Mhm.
but then you told me like you'd booked like 7 shows that week to be on, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't. Sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to be one of 7. I want to have her on, on a show that's outside of people. What
Mhm.
made you want to get into the reptile community as a way of growing the tarantula hobby?
Actually, no. My first focus was the tarantulas, and then I was going to already get into the reptile hobby because I took in a surrendered chameleon.
Mm,
And as a child, I always had I had ball pythons, I had garter snakes, corn snakes, but then you know they had their way, and then I just got into the tarantulas more. And then after my chameleon, my great friend Kyle Markham, we spoke, and he was like, "Hey, do you want this snake? I'll give him to you." So yeah. And then he brought me into the reptile community, and from there I just met these amazing people, and they just became like family.
mm. Well, do you see? Is there a difference in the reptile community and the tarantula community?
No, I feel like it's a little bit equal.
Okay, and okay, so okay, that's a great answer. So this will be a good question. What do you hate about this community?
What do I hate about this community?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Um, what I hate is a very strong word. And I would say what I despise about this community is that there's not enough people.
That's way look. I don't mean to nitpick, but despise is a much worse word than hate. All right, I would have rather use hate. Like if somebody just hated me, I'd be fine with that. If they despise me, I would feel a little bad. Um, so okay, so you haven't seen the garbage side of the community yet. Like how long have you been here?
About 10 years. Okay, the worst part that I've seen is a lot of people on Facebook like to hide behind the scenes and just jab at.
Judge. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
judge and jab.
Yep.
Whereas when you're in the community and you're at these expos and you're, interchanging with other people, you actually get to see the realism. And then it's a beautiful thing when you can find someone who agrees with you, But not only that, but that can sharpen you as well in the community, that can say, hey, you're doing this. Why are you doing this? Let me show you what works. And if it doesn't work for you, fine. And that's how we continue.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a tremendous difference between a show and Facebook or Instagram, right? Like
Uh,
it's, you know, I'd have people be like, "Fuck you,
yeah.
you fat fuck! I'll kill you if I ever see you." And then I see them at a show, and they're like, "Hey, you want to take a picture? Can I get a picture with you?" You know, they're all a
Hypocrisy.
bunch of, yeah, they're all a bunch of whiny people. But I'm curious if in the tarantula community, if it's the whole you post one picture on Facebook or whatever, and you get hate for like just a simple picture of a tarantula in a cage, and somebody tells you, "Oh, there's cork bark in there. You're not supposed to have cork bark in there," and then they attack you for something stupid like that. Is it similar with the ball pipe, like with the tarantula community, as it is with the reptile community? Because in the reptile community, you could post the most innocent picture of, you know, I had my skink on a skull, and people are like, "Fuck you, man! You shouldn't be taking that skink out and handling it." You know, and I was like, "Man, I just wanted to shoot a cute video of my skink." Right? You know? So, is the tarantula community the same way?
So no, we're very tight in the tarantula community. We very much look out for each other. However, the ones who are not in the tarantula community have always something to say, something snarky to say.
Right.
And they're the ones who are uneducated, and they will always have a comment to say. But we in the community, we will continue to educate people and continue, because there's always going to be someone that's going to say, hey, why do you have a tarantula in a shoebox? It's not
Mm,
in a shoebox. That's just their comment. But we will
right.
always continue to educate people, and that's our main goal.
Okay. You're a better person than me. After like the third question, I'm just like, "Fuck off," you know, like this. Yeah, you're asking too many dumb questions.
I was
Um,
raised with scruples.
Well, yeah, no, I know. That was a little pot shot. That's what we like to call a backhanded compliment in New York. All right, so fucking Cat knows how to do it. She's like, "Chris, normally greasy hair doesn't work for people, but on you it looks good." All right, so I know what you're doing. All right, I know what you're doing. Um, Tell me about you. What do you like to do other than this?
Oh, Chris, do you really want to know? I'm a little bit creepy. I
Yeah,
just
no, I could definitely see that. Okay, but how, like, what do you like to do? Well, give me an example.
I like to be with some of. I don't have really girlfriends. I have guy friends, and so um I like to hang out with them, and we like to make music. We like to make poetry. I like to go to poetry clubs. I love to write poetry. I'm more of an introverted person, so I'm mostly at home.
Mm,
I have a tight connection with certain type of people, and I like to just keep my distance, observe.
mm.
But I'm more into my tarantulas.
No,
But I
no, I'm,
like to
I'm
go out.
I'm all in for staying home. Believe me, I'm. Yeah, I mean, the problem going out is all the people, you know. So
Yeah.
like people. So and then this is going to be a long-winded answer from you, I know. But what do you love about the hobby?
What do I love about the hobby? The tarantulas. I have an addiction. They're just so beautiful, and they just match my soul, and there's something that when you find something that you can connect to, it takes my breath away.
So you don't see yourself ever going reptile more than spiders.
I love snakes, and I am doing my hardest to get down these snake morphs to understand them. But that could never be me. So I love them and I would take them, but I'm more into the tarantulas. But I would always be both. I'll go both ways. I'm both ways.
Okay, both ways. All right. I'm not even going to touch that. Okay. Um, so now you're going to be going to Gettysburg, right?
Yes.
Which is cool. So we'll actually get to hang out.
Hmm.
And you go down to like the White Plains show too, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Do.
why that one?
Everyone knows me there, and I know
Right.
them, and that's my people. That's my clique.
Yeah, no, I like the people there as much as I don't like the what you take home for free, you know,
Right.
when you go there. So,
Yeah.
um, did you go to the Nassau show recently or no?
No. No.
Okay, that was a good show too.
Yeah.
Um, and you have a lot of shows up by you. They're mostly done by Show Me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when you go to these shows, do you vend or no?
No. I'm actually talking to one of the big heads about it right now. Not to really vend, but to showcase my animals or to have a partnership with one of the vendors and to be at their table. So yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you do. Have you ever been to a national show?
No, no.
Do you have any interest in going to a national show?
I would like to, definitely, of course.
Okay. All right. All right. So 5 years from now, what's Arachnid Cat doing?
5 years from now, I really want to breed a certain specific tarantula, and that is I know I'm gonna get smacked for this, but it's the Theraphosis. They have like thousands and thousands of babies, and I just want to take on that challenge. I'm that type of person that I want to take on a challenge. So 5 years from now, I want to try and take on the challenge to breed that species.
Okay. Well, and this sounds like a stupid question to me, but can you do this from your house, or do you need like a facility to do this?
I can do it from my house if I do a species that doesn't have too many babies.
Okay. So in other words, you don't want a bunch of
Right.
deli cups in your dining room. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. So we're gonna cut this a little bit short because Kat got to go. But where could people contact you? And do you want people to contact you? I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, there's a lot of
Absolutely.
a lot of
That's what
assholes that
I'm
watch
for.
this show, right? So,
Of
uh,
course. So I am on the YouTube channel Untamed and Unhinged Reptiles podcast network, and I have my own segment called Web Wonders and my Instagram Arachnid Kat. You could always message me. I'm open to questions. I'm open to answering them, and I invite people. If you have questions, please don't just go to me, but go to other sources as well. Please always do your research. But other than that, I have my shows on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. And next week, we actually have Mark Anderson from Show Me Reptiles.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And there's one other question I have to ask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you you know that there's a tarantula cat,
Yes, we're
right?
friends.
Okay, okay, all right. Did she contact you worried about any brand confusion with you being arachnid cat?
Yes, we had this conversation before. Please, everyone, go support Tarantula Cat. We're friends. I love her. She's doing so great in the community and just with her work as well. Um, she does amazing work. She has her plushies, she has her network, she has her YouTube. Please go support her. She's doing great things in the community, and that's how she started, and that's how she's going to be continuing to do her great work. So please
She's
go support.
unbelievable. Yeah,
Yeah,
she really took it and ran with it as far as a business
yeah,
goes. Having the plushies for every tarantula that you, I mean,
yeah,
that's genius, you know.
yes,
And from what I understand, she sells out every every time, you
yes,
know.
mhm,
So
yeah,
yeah, no, that's not a bad business model to look, to look up to. So
yeah.
all right, Kat, is there anything else you want to say?
Yes, please be an advocate for an animal that does not have a voice, and just be kind to everyone and be friends with everyone. We're here for a little time.
That's oh, be friends with everyone. Oh,
I know
that's
it's a hard pill to swallow, but you have to.
that's the battle cry of people that don't know enough assholes. Okay, right? Be friends with everyone. I don't know about that. All right, but I'll be friends with the people that want to be friends with me. All right, so you have a conversion. Look at Kevin. The only
I love you, Kevin.
reason that you came on my timeline was because you had a Sugar Skull shirt on.
Yeah.
And so I think that all the reptile people have Kevin to thank for your entrance into this hobby. So, Kat, thank you for spending time with me and hanging out with me for a little bit. I appreciate you, and we will have you on again. All right, when you
Absolutely.
could turn your fucking camera sideways and get the whole frame. All right.
I love
we,
you, Chris.
we
Thank
will
you.
figure that out too. I love you too. If you want, hang out backstage for a minute,
Yes.
and I'll be right there. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye bye. All right. Yo, she's cool, huh? So, listen, she knows what she's talking about. She knows a fuck of a lot more than I do. Listen, everyone, I know it was a short one tonight. We got a busy week coming up this week. I got a ton of things going on in preparation for Canada and preparation for Camp Freedom. So, thank you, everybody, for coming by and hanging out all night with us. And, again, join the Patreon, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on Instagram. Do all the shit. Okay, just do all the shit. I'll talk to you guys during the week. Bye-bye.